Hi, I'm John Costino, the founder of MoneyWise, and I want to thank you for tuning in to learn more about our program. We're going to talk about three different elements today. First and foremost, the industry of home-based business and network marketing, and really what's been wrong with it. The second, we're going to talk about our product, our software program available through MoneyWise, and we're going to talk about the compensation available to you as an associate. Now, in my career, which has spanned the last 3 decades, I've basically handled every job available. I've been a brand new representative, obviously, when I got started in the industry. I, as a field representative, made it to the top of multiple companies. So as a field leader, I've experienced the success that many of you have and some of you are hoping to. But as I grew through those companies, I noticed some challenges in the industry and wanted to find a way to fix them. So I left the industry as a representative to become a consultant. And then I spent years both as a consultant and a corporate officer with quite a few network marketing companies, eventually becoming a minority owner in a few companies. So as I said, I've worn every hat. I've looked at this industry from every possible angle and perspective. And what I've come to realize is there are 4 inherent challenges that exist in the industry, and every company that I'm aware of has one or more of these challenges out there. Now, the problem is these 4 challenges are the reasons why the average person struggles when they start their home-based business. It's the reasons why people end up failing and ultimately quitting in their pursuit of success in a home-based business or network marketing opportunity. Now, I'm proud to tell you that here with MoneyWise, we've not only identified these 4 challenges, we've solved them. And the reason we've solved them is some of you watching this right now, maybe you know somebody or you yourself have already tried. You've gone out there and you've put the time and the effort in, only to get frustrated and end up quitting or failing. What I want you to understand is it wasn't your fault. The industry had the odds stacked against you, and I'm going to share it with you right now. The first inherent challenge in the industry is the fact that there's just a lack of product value for the end retail customer. And what I mean by that is if you join the company, if you become a representative, there's obviously value and people get excited about that. But when it comes to going out there and finding an end user, somebody that's not attached to or associated with the compensation, the value sometimes falls short. And what I'm proud to tell you that right now, we have a company, and it's the first time in my 3-decade career that I can honestly say we have a product that your friends and family need. A product that right now will help them out financially so that they could become a customer, a retail customer of yours. Never have to join the company, never have to build their own network or their own business, and as a retail customer, they could end up getting a very real financial benefit. Why is that important? Because so many people, when they become representatives in the industry, have a very healthy fear of going out there and talking to their friends and family. And it's because deep down in their core, they know the value really isn't there. That doesn't exist with MoneyWise. Instead, we're going to give you the confidence to be proud to go out there and share our product with your friends and family because they need it and because it's going to help them out financially. The second challenge, it deals with that first issue, that if you get excited about the product in a company, but you don't necessarily want to go build a network, you're not yet comfortable developing the network and recruiting your friends and family, the companies fall short giving you the opportunity to earn a real income as a direct salesperson. And what I mean by that is the compensation plans are designed to reward leaders with huge groups, but they fall short in providing a real income, a real opportunity to earn money for somebody that focuses on the direct sales of that product. So what we've done here with MoneyWise is build 2 compensation plans within the same company. Because of my experience, because of the time I've spent in the field, I know there are people out there that love the products and they want to go out there and share them, but they just don't get compensated. So we've created an opportunity where you can go out there, and if you never ever recruit a single person, you could develop a very healthy residual income by focusing on retail sales and going out there and sharing this product. The third challenge is what we call the high barrier to entry, and that's just fancy speak for it costs too much to join. And again, based upon my experience, I can't tell you how many times I've watched people sit through a presentation and say, that's the most amazing thing I've ever seen. I can't believe how awesome this is. but I can't afford to join, or I can't risk my money trying this out, or I don't know anybody that can afford to join. So the bottom line is, it doesn't matter how great a product is or how great a company is if it costs too much to get involved. Now let's just be honest. I've seen companies that charge $300, $400, $500 or more to get started. Well, the bottom line is, if it's too expensive, it's not going to work. You're going to struggle to go out there and introduce your friends and family. Well, how did we solve that? Real simple. You can start your business here with MonyWize for less than $50. And I want to be real clear about this. $49.99 to start your business, and that will not only get you started, it will cover your websites and it'll cover your back office for the entire year. I want you to think about that. For those of you that have been in the industry, you know that there are companies that charge $19.95 all the way through $49.95 a month after you've gotten started to have your website and your back office. Well, again, we don't do that. I understand personally the challenge and the struggle when somebody says, I want to start a business, but I don't have the money. That's why I'm looking to start a business, because I need extra money. So I believe that anyone and everyone that has ever wanted to start a home-based business can afford $50. So we've solved that high barrier to entry, and that leads us right to the fourth struggle. That is called attrition. And the attrition rate is the rate of dropout, the rate of failure and quit. The statistics in this industry are staggering, and they're staggering in a very negative way. Meaning, if you were to go out there and take the number of people that actually said yes and joined your company, and you track them for the next year before their annual renewal date, 85 out of 100, or 85% of the people that said yes and joined end up quitting before their annual renewal. Now, there's probably more than one reason, but I'll tell you, the number one reason that people quit is because they're not making enough money. And the challenge is, they join a home-based business because they need money. They get excited, they get started, and then the monthly, we'll call it qualification, in order to stay active and qualified, is more than they're making. I've seen companies charge $100, $150, $250 and more for their monthly qualification or auto ship. And again, I looked at that and said, why? Why do that to people? If you're earning a check of $37 or $45 or $58, but you're spending $150 or more, it doesn't take long before somebody, whether it's you or your spouse or your significant other, turns around and says, you know what, this isn't good business. Why are we doing this? We started because we needed to make money, and we're losing more money month after month. Well, here at MonyWize, we already understand that. So not only can you start your business for less than $50, you can be fully qualified and active as an associate for $29.99 per month. So we'll call it $30. Now, to recap these four challenges, we have a retail product that has legitimate value to your friends and family, a product that they need, so you don't have to go out there and convince them to buy your pills, potions, and lotions. Number two, we have a compensation plan that'll actually make it worth your while financially to go out there and share this product. We have an opportunity where you can get started for less than $50, which means it's affordable not just to you, but to anybody that you want to introduce it to, and the monthly cost for qualification is less than $30. Now, let's talk a little bit about why we're doing this. Here at MonyWize, we have a threefold mission. And the first of those three mission statements is to help you live a debt-free lifestyle. I want you to think about this for a second. How many people do you know right now that are struggling financially? And I'm not talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars. There are people out there with $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 in consumer debt, and they can't find a way to get out from underneath it. Whether it's credit cards on a revolving payment, whether it's student loans, whether it's car payments, the bottom line is we are living in a stressful environment because we're not living debt-free. So if we can help the average person to live a debt-free lifestyle, we're winning. The second of that threefold mission is to go out there and help you to build wealth. The goal in starting a home-based business is not to lose money, it's to accumulate money. So we're going to help you to build wealth. And that brings us to the third of our threefold mission: secure your future. Secure a financial future. I can't tell you how many people have given up on the idea of retirement. They don't have anything in a savings or a retirement plan because they're juggling bills right now. They're basically trying to decide which bill can I afford to pay this month. So the goal here is to help people get out of debt, build that wealth, and secure their financial future. Now, I want you to understand, the key to success in our business is starting with the basics, and that's filling out your free financial analysis. We have a program that will give you a blueprint to become debt-free. You can fill out this free financial profile, and it will give you a basic blueprint of what our program can do for you. If you end up going out there as an associate and filling out the full profile, you will see step by step how to get out of debt, regardless of the situation that you're in right now. The results are going to vary based upon your circumstances, but we can go out there and help anyone that has any level of discretionary income, which is the income versus the debts and expenses. And that discretionary income can be as little as $50. We can help anyone get out of debt. Now, if you're wondering why are we doing this, please understand, this is not something that we're guessing at. The statistics are staggering. If you look at the screen right now, we have 3 screenshots from January and February 2016 where you can go out there right now and see this is not your problem. This is a problem that all Americans are facing. Now think for a second. Who's not struggling? Who's not in financial trouble? The banks, the mortgage companies, the credit card companies, the financing companies. They know all the secrets. They understand the money, and they have the money working for them. You and I didn't get taught that. That's why the money's working against us, and we find ourselves buried under a revolving debt we can't seem to get out from under. Now here's the best part. You don't have to learn how this works. You don't have to go to school. You don't have to go through a study program. You don't have to take tests. You don't have to even understand it. The software program contains all of this information. Why? Because it was created by somebody who spent 30 years in the financial world. He understands how this works, and he has spent his career in the financial world, working with mortgages, owning real estate companies, and basically has spent a career helping the average family get out from underneath debt. His focus was debt elimination and loss mitigation, but what he found was he couldn't be everywhere at once, so he went out there and created the software with all of this information, and they've been selling it for over a decade for $3,500 and up at real estate seminars, at business expos, but it's available through MoneyWise for $29.99. You don't have to learn it, you just get to use it. Now, a lot of programs work on what's called mortgage reduction, mortgage elimination, but there are a huge amount of people, over 50% of our population is now classified as unbankable. Horrible term. What's it mean? They can't get a mortgage. They are struggling so bad right now with consumer debt that they don't even have the ability to go get a mortgage and add that extra burden. This consumer debt is overwhelming, but the beautiful thing about our program is the software will work just the same for them. And if you're not sure what I mean, consumer debt is your credit card debt. It's your student loans. It's your car payments. And there are people that have $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 and more in consumer debt, doesn't even take into consideration a mortgage, but our program will work just the same for you. Now, there are programs out there that talk about mortgage reduction, mortgage elimination, and ours obviously works phenomenally well for helping people to eliminate their mortgage. But what about the rest of the population? More than 50% of the population is classified as unbankable, which is a terrible term, but it basically means you can't even get a mortgage. So you don't even have the luxury of adding a mortgage to your debt burden. Why? Because people right now, simply with credit card debt, with car payments, with student loans, maybe you know somebody like that. They don't even have a mortgage, but they have $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 and more in what's classified as consumer debt. Well, the bottom line is our program works just as well for you. You don't have to have a mortgage. Obviously, it'll help you eliminate your mortgage, but if you're one of those people right now that's renting and still can't find a way out because the consumer debt burden is so big, credit card debts, car payments, student loans, the MoneyWise software platform will work just as well for you. In this first example, we're going to take a look at a mortgage of $175,000 with an interest rate of 5.5 and 23 years left for payoff. You can see the monthly payment is $1,150. The monthly income for the household is $4,500. And the monthly expenses outside of the mortgage, roughly $1,300. Now, all you're going to do is put that information in, put your name, put your email, and when you click submit, you're going to get a blueprint. And it's going to be very simple, but it's going to show you this is what the software can do for you. Now, as you can see, this offer will help this family with a $175,000 mortgage to pay it off in less than 5.5 years. I want you to think about that. Instead of 23 years, they have the opportunity through the software to pay it off in less than 5.5 years. Why is that important? Because it would save them over $106,000 in interest. Now, I can't express to you the value, and I don't want you to try to figure it out. That's the beauty of this software. You and I didn't get this education. We didn't learn how this works, but the software takes into consideration every potential formula. Why? Because it was created by somebody that came from that financial world. Now, second example, a much higher mortgage, $450,000 at a 5% interest rate with a full 30 years left to pay it off. The monthly payment, $2,650. Household income, $6,500. And the monthly expenses in addition to the mortgage, $2,500. Now, again, you put your name in, you put your email, you click submit, and you have your blueprint. This is why we're saying, take a look, see if this makes sense for you and your family. In this example, instead of paying off your mortgage in 30 years, you have it paid off in less than 14, so in less than half the time. Why? I want you to look at the savings. Savings in excess of $244,000. Folks, I want you just to ask yourself, what would that be worth to you? If this software program could help you cut your mortgage from 30 years to less than 14 and save you almost $245,000, is it worth $30 a month? We're not asking you to go to school, get educated, study, take tests. We're saying let the software do the work for you. Now, if you notice, it's not just helping you to get out of debt. There's a wealth acceleration curve that we're going to talk about a little bit later. But let's do one more example, because see, more than 50% of Americans are considered unbankable. They can't even get a mortgage. So they're stuck with consumer debt. They can't even afford to get a mortgage, yet they can't seem to get ahead. Why? Because again, they're buried underneath credit card debt, car payments, student loans, you name it. In this third example, we're going to look at somebody who has these 5 consumer debts: $25,000, $15,000, $10,000, $7,500, and $5,000. I've been told that there are families out there with up to 10 credit cards, maxing out as many as possible to make ends meet. In this example, there's no mortgage, but it's over $60,000 in consumer debt. The monthly income for the household is $4,000, and the monthly expenses in addition to these debts, $1,500. Now, I want you to ask yourself this question before we click submit. If you were buried in consumer debt in excess of $60,000 and your household income was $4,000, at that point, do you even think you're going to get out of debt? Again, I can't tell you how many people say to me, I don't have any money. I don't have enough money. I don't know how to get this. This software is your navigation out of debt. Now watch this. Click submit. Using the software, using the existing income and taking into account the debts already in place, this family would be out of debt in less than 2 years. I'm going to say that again. Buried underneath $60,000 in consumer debt, using this software, spending their money wisely instead of foolishly, just like I did until I got educated, you could be out of debt in less than 2 years. Is that worth $30 per month? I said it before. This program has value to a retail customer. You do not have to become a representative and build a huge business to see financial benefit. And again, for those of you saying, I don't know if I can understand this, There are tutorials to walk you through this program step by step by step. Here's one last example. Family has $517,000 in debt, 13 and a half years left to pay on their mortgage, and if you look on the right-hand side of the screen, the income is $8,500 per month for the family. The expenses and debts are over $8,000. So the discretionary income is less than $500. It's slightly more than $400 a month. And I want you to think about this. $8,500 in income and less than $500 of it is available. This is what the more detailed step-by-step plan looks like once someone says, you know what, I want to try the software out. As you can see, they're listing each of their debts. They're listing each of their expenses. And then if you look on the right-hand side, you'll see in red where it says recommended payment. The beauty of this program is the software is going to calculate every debt. It's going to take into consideration the balance on that debt. It's going to take into consideration the interest that you're paying on that debt. It's going to figure out which one of your debts is causing you to bleed out money the worst, and it's going to show you how to eliminate it first. But you're in control. It says recommended payment. You make the decision whether or not you want to take that money and apply it to that payment. But watch what happens. If you choose to follow this step by step, in this example, instead of being out of debt in 30 years, with the Wealth Acceleration Program, they're out in 13 and a half years. More importantly, look at the bottom. After they're out of debt in 13 and a half years, the remaining 16 and a half years on that 30-year plan, the money that was being paid to put into the mortgage and the other debts is now going into a savings and retirement plan. Now, we're not giving any financial advice. We highly and strongly encourage you to go out there and find an accountant or a financial planner or someone that you feel comfortable with, someone that you trust. But in this example, the software teaches you that the amount of money that you were taking and applying to a mortgage or a debt, you should continue to put towards a retirement plan. And in this program, using a conservative example, the family at the end of 30 years, instead of paying off their $517,000 mortgage, they have over $2 million in net worth in their retirement plan. Why? Because the software is teaching them how to spend their money wisely. Now, for those of you that want to see a different visual, here's a pie chart. The green represents your income. The red represents your debts and expenses, and that tiny little blue area in the middle is your discretionary income. And I can't stress enough how exciting it is that you could have $8,500 in income and be spending almost all of it on debts and expenses with just a tiny little sliver available, $400, and get yourself out of debt in less than half the time. And at the end of 30 years, instead of celebrating that you own your home, you're celebrating that you have a retirement plan. Two words that I don't think the average person has put together in a long time. A retirement plan in excess of $2 million. Again, we didn't say when you hit the lottery. We didn't say when you take on that second job. We said when you use this software and spend your money wisely, you can have the retirement you've always dreamed of. Now that you know we have a phenomenal product that, as I promised, has real value to your friends and family just as a retail customer, let's talk a little bit about the opportunity. As I said earlier, you can start this business for less than $50. $49.99 gets you started in business. But let's talk a little bit about the compensation available if you choose to be a direct salesperson versus building a large network. You can go out there and acquire retail customer accounts, and we will pay you $10 one time each customer account you acquire. So let's talk about a very conservative direct sales example. Let's say that you said, you know what, I'm not going to go out there and build a network. I'm not going to recruit my friends and family, but I know this product works and I know I can go out there and sell it. So our goal will be in this example for you to acquire 10 retail customer accounts per month for just 1 year. Just 1 year. And then you can walk away. The company will pay you $10 one time for each account, which would be $1,200. But more importantly, we're going to pay you $5 per customer account per month for the life of that account, residually. Now here's the cool thing. If you were to get 10 retail customers a month for 1 year and then stop and walk away, you would have established a $600 per month residual income without recruiting anybody. Let me put that into perspective. If you were to apply that to the history of network marketing and just the residual income, not recruiting bonuses and the rest, you'd be in the top 1, 2, 3% of money earners in the history of network marketing just by going out there and spending 1 year getting 10 retail customers a month. If that doesn't grab your attention as far as the compensation available with MoneyWise, I don't know what will. But let's talk to the rest of you, like me, that are okay with and excited about building a long-term network distribution. As I said, retail customers are the key, but let's talk about going out there and building a network. With our program, we're going to set you up that you could get paid through 9 levels of referrals. And I want to be clear about this. You can recruit as many people as you want to come on board and become business associates, and that would be your first level. Anyone that they should go out there and introduce to the business as an associate would become your second level. And there's no limit to the people you can introduce. There's no limit to the people they can introduce. But the best part about this is not only will you get paid through 9 levels of referrals, the income goes up as you go from level 1, 2, 3, 4 down to the 9th level. As you can see on the screen, through those 9 levels, we're paying out $8 in total in residual commissions. But the best part of our program is we've made it very simple for you to qualify. Again, as I said, I've been in this industry for a long time, and a lot of companies go out there and they put little hurdles in there, little obstacles, making it extra hard for you to qualify for your check. And because I came from the field and because I know what it's like to need that check every month, we've made it simple. You've heard me reference it before, but I'm going to do it again right now. The key to our company is retail customers. If you are willing to go out there and acquire 3 retail customer accounts, as long as you maintain a minimum of 3, you're fully qualified for all 9 levels. I want to say that again slowly because I know there's a lot of companies out there that make it really hard for you to get paid. If you believe our program makes sense, if you believe there's value in our product, all we're asking you to do is go out there and acquire personally 3 retail customer accounts. If you can maintain those 3 accounts, you are paid through 9 levels of residuals, regardless of how the structure is. Why is that important? Because you could get lucky. You may only go out there and recruit 1 really good associate, somebody who goes bananas building the business. And unlike other companies where you need to have a second or a third or worse, a 4th or a 5th leg to balance it out, you'll get paid on every account, whether it's an associate or a retail customer, if it falls within those 9 levels, even if it all comes from 1 leg. For those of you that have been in the industry, you understand how powerful that is. Why? Because we want to pay you. If you're wondering why am I being so generous with this, it's because I understand one thing, and it's a fact that will never be disputed. A company is only as strong as its field leadership. And I understand that my partners and I, we have a very small role. It's to open the doors and to keep the company legal. The success of this company comes from you in the field. So I'm not silly and I'm not stupid. We want to make sure that you get paid every month as much as possible. So we're making it as easy as possible for you to get and to stay qualified for your check. Now, in addition to the associates, every associate is encouraged to go out there and get as many retail customers as possible. And as you can see here, you're also going to get paid on those same 9 levels, 50 cents per customer per month on any retail customers they acquire. Now I want to put this in perspective. That's in addition to the $5 being paid to the individual that gets that retail customer. And I want to stress this. A lot of companies have what's called the shiny object. We don't focus on that. as I said, as a representative, I understand that the most important income is that residual income that will come in month after month after month. So if you look at the screen, you'll see that we're going to pay you a tremendous amount on the residual side, whether it's an associate account or it's a retail customer account. In fact, look at the totals. On the residual side, with the associates, we're paying out $8 through the 9 levels, and then there are 3 positions that have 2 generations of infinity coding. If you don't understand all that, don't worry. I'm speaking to the leaders right now because you have the opportunity to get paid through true infinity. On the retail customer side, it's the $4.50 on those 9 levels, plus the 5 that we're paying to the person who acquires the customer, plus the 3 positions, each with 2 generations of coding. So when you look at those totals, on a $30 per month subscription, we're paying out as much as $11, which is more than 30%. Why? Because I understand that's the income, more than anything else, that you want when you build this business. Why? Because anybody can join a company and earn a large paycheck, get paid big bonuses. But if you have to do it all over again next week or next month, then you have a high-paying job. If you want to run a business that's going to give you time freedom, it's got to be a company that's going to pay you residually for the work that you do. That's why we're focused on the residual income, because that's the income that's going to allow you to earn money and still step away and take the time with your family. Spend that time with your loved ones. Now, for those of you that truly want to chase that shiny object, I understand there's a lot of companies out there that front load their compensation. They pay big bonuses. I'm telling you, we've got money in there for that. It's just not our focus. But if you want to know, okay, what can I do when I get started? We've put together a program that'll allow you in your first 30, 60, 90, 120 days to earn a substantial income if you're willing to put the work in. Now, here's how it works. Earn your first rank advance bonus, which is what we call your manager position. And that's when you go out there and personally enroll a minimum of 5 accounts. Now, they can be retail customer accounts, they can be associates, but for these bonuses to be paid out, you must have a minimum of 50%. Half of these accounts must be retail customer accounts. So for the first bonus, if you're going to go get 5, at least 3 of them need to be retail customers, and that's a $50 bonus. Now, in your first 60 days, we have 2 bonuses available. Develop 3 teams of 10 accounts within your first 60 days, and we'll pay you a $500 bonus. So think about that. For as few as 30 accounts, you could earn a $500 bonus. But if you're building, look at the second bonus, 3 teams of 25 accounts. If you go out there and develop 3 teams with a minimum of 25 accounts, we'll pay you another $500, which means for as little as 75 accounts, you could earn $1,000 in your first 60 days. Now keep the ball rolling. Continue building. Take it from 3 teams of 25 to 5 teams of 25 accounts. Again, half of them being retail customer accounts in your first 90 days, and pick up an additional $1,500 bonus. Again, folks, we're talking about as little as 125 accounts, and you could have picked up 500 plus 500, which is 1,000, an additional 1,500, which is $2,500 in your first 90 days. What did it cost you to join? $50. What's the monthly subscription? $30. I want to keep that in mind, because when you look at how much money we pay out versus your monthly commitment and requirement, there's no company out there that can compete with us. But let's take it one more time. In your first 120 days, 4 months in the business, help those 5 teams to grow from 25 to 100 accounts. So that's 5 teams with a minimum of 100 accounts, and you'll pick up an additional $3,000 bonus. I really want to put that in perspective. That's 4 months of work. That's building 5 teams with as little as 100 accounts, so 500 accounts, and you could actually pick up $5,550 in rank advancement bonuses. The best part about that is you've built yourself a residual income. Using that example, if it was just 500 accounts and they were just within your first 3 levels, the smallest residual that you could earn off of that is $250 a month. Just think about that for a second. You got started in business for less than $50. Monthly commitment, monthly requirement, less than $30. 4 months, you've got yourself a bonus of over $5,000 and a residual, $250. Where can you go out there and earn this kind of money in a network marketing company with such low requirements? That's why MoneyWise is the opportunity for you. It's an opportunity where the average person can go out there and succeed. Now again, I'm not asking anybody to get excited because I'm not talking about big money. Why? Because you know what? There's enough companies out there that focus on that very small 1% of the population that's going to go out there and have that success. And that 3, 4, 5 people that they keep promoting and bragging that are making all that money. I want MoneyWise to be the opportunity for the masses. I've said it before. If 85 to 90% of the people aren't going to last, and 95% of the people aren't going to break even and ever see a profit, what if a company turned the tables? What if a company said, what if those people all started to break even? What if all those people started to turn a profit? Well, I'm not here to say you're all going to become rich. I'm here to say, how awesome would it be if everybody actually made money? If you broke even and earned a profit? Well, here's what it means. It means that those of you that were going to be leaders anywhere, you've got a chance here to be a leader with long-term potential. Because I'm not even talking about the national or international director positions right now, because right now they don't have bonuses attached to them. We stopped at regional director, but I do want you to understand that there's infinity coding. And for those of you saying, I don't understand infinity coding, don't worry about it. This is something that you'll learn as you go. But I'm speaking to the leaders right now. Here's one of the big secrets in this industry. Companies take the very top position in their compensation plan and they talk about get paid through infinity in your group. Well, first of all, if it's at the top position, it means there may be 5 to 10 people that ever hit it. Ask yourself, there are companies out there that have 150 to 250,000 distributors and less than 10 people at that position. Why? Because it's not designed for everybody to get there. So they offer this magical infinity pay and most people can't even reach it, let alone keep it. Well, with MoneyWise, we put this infinity coding right in the middle. It starts at regional director and then it just gets bigger at national and international director. But here's the secret. It's true infinity coding. Other companies call it infinity, but it's really an override. And what they mean to say is we're going to pay you this money until someone in your team earns your position, then we're going to give it to them. Or we're going to cut yours in half and give it to them. What I want you to understand is because I came from the field, because I experienced that lie myself, I will never allow that to happen here. So here's what I'm telling you. In MoneyWise, you go out there and you build yourself to regional director, and then you start developing your regional director code, you will never, ever be penalized for helping people within your regional director code to be better than you. And if you're not sure how it works, let's go ahead and take a real close look at the slides. In order for you to start building your infinity code, 2 events have to happen. I'm going to keep this simple so everybody understands it. The first event is you must earn the qualifications. What are the qualifications to becoming a regional director? Well, look closely at the slide. You must have 5 teams of 100 accounts. 5 teams of 100 accounts qualifies you for regional director. Once you've met the first requirement, which was reaching the regional director and having 5 teams of 100 accounts, the second event is you have to personally enroll a new associate. Just one. You don't have to go out there and recruit a whole bunch of people, but recruit at least one new associate to be placed into your regional director code. And you can place them anywhere within your organization. But this new individual starts your regional director code. And here's the best part. They begin an additional 25 cents per account, whether it's an associate account or a retail customer account, through True Infinity. So let's take an example and say that you put this new associate on your 2nd or your 3rd level. So instead of getting paid 50 cents, because it falls on levels 1, 2, and 3, it's 50 cents plus 25 cents. And then that 25 cents gets added on every account that falls on levels 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. But here's the magic. When it gets to the 10th level, instead of it cutting off like it does for the level pay, you now have 25 cents per account. Again, whether it's an associate or a retail customer through True Infinity. What does that mean? That means for as far down, it could go down 500, it could go down 5,000 levels. And here's the best part. It will never get cut out. Why? Because I have already planned for someone in that regional director code to reach your position of regional director. So watch this. When you look at the screen, you can now see a blue rectangle, and that represents someone in your regional director code reaching your position. Well, in order for them to start their regional director code, what do they have to do? The same two events. They have to leave behind at least 5 teams with 100 accounts. That's your regional director 1 code, and it will remain your code no matter how big that grows. Those 500 accounts could grow to 5,000, could grow to 50,000, and it's still all your regional director 1. In fact, there is an unlimited number of people that can get started in that regional director code and become regional directors themselves. So it's not 1, it's not 2, there's an unlimited number of people that can break regional director. Why? Because until they go out there and recruit a new person and start developing their regional director code, which you can see now with that gray circle, that is their regional director 1, your regional director 2. What does that mean? That means I've already taken into account when that person, that superstar in your team says, I want to start building my regional director infinity code, I want you to cheer. I want you to promote. I want you to keep helping and supporting them as much as possible because it's not coming out of your pocket. You're going to receive Regional Director 2 coding, which is identical to the Regional Director 1 coding through True Infinity. So now when that leader gets started, if they still need your support, you're not going to be stuck deciding, do I help them and lose money, or do I go out there and say, figure it out on your own because I've got to focus on my check. How do I know that? Because I experienced it myself. I watched people go out there and let good leaders struggle because they weren't getting paid anymore. Well, with MoneyWise, you don't even have to worry about it. You're going to get paid the same amount infinity, whether it's your regional director code or someone in your team. Now, I want you to understand that that will hold true at national and international director. And again, if you don't fully understand the coding, just understand the concept that if you reach regional director and you start your code, it does not matter if that person in your team becomes a regional director, a national director, or becomes our first international director. As long as it came from your regional director 1 code, you are going to get paid through infinity no matter how big that group grows. The last bonus I want to talk about right now is the per customer account merit bonus. We already talked about if you go out there and personally enroll a retail customer account, you get paid $10 one time. If you personally enroll a new associate and that account goes active, you'll receive $5 one time. But we also have some overrides as you're developing a team. At the senior director level, give you the chance to start picking up a $3 override on every associate account that comes into your organization, not underneath, I repeat, not underneath another senior director. So that $3 is yours through True Infinity until someone breaks senior director. So it's an override. When you reach regional director, there's another $3 for every associate account that gets started in your organization, not underneath another senior director. And if it does fall underneath a senior director, you keep the $3 until somebody breaks regional director. And we've also added $1 for every retail customer not underneath a regional director. And of course, we've gone ahead and coded that at national and international director. So again, I'm not asking you to fully comprehend or understand the compensation plan. We have a training for that. But what I want you to understand is we've created a compensation program that is second to none. I want you to ask yourself one question. If you had the chance to start your own business for $50 and you had the chance to go out there and remain active for $30 a month, whether you went out there and took the product for yourself or you got a retail customer to activate your account, did we provide you with enough value as a retail customer yourself for our program? Do we provide you enough value to get started in business and go out there and actually invest the time to get retail customers and introduce this opportunity to other associates? If the answer is no, then I thank you so much for your attention. But if the answer is yes, then please get back to the person that shared this video with you. We have one goal here: to help you to start a business and to build it to the pace you want. It's your money. Spend it more wisely.